He talks about the winning ways, a phrase you've heard in your lifetime at some point.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. You know what's interesting about that? I mean, he said interesting, we'll come to that. There were all those microphones there. This is a Bengali thing.
Yes.
And where is this?
You spotted it, well done.
This is in Hamilton. I tell you, Bengali cricket media lands up everywhere. But it's interesting, will they remember that? I don't know if the New Zealand media would keep asking them about that. But Indian media will not forget. I mean, I still remember that game. New Zealand accepted the decision India did. India got angrier than New Zealand about that decision. But it's been such a long time. We move on, right?
Yeah, it should be. But what have they done since that World Cup final? If they haven't played any ODI cricket, they have played tests and they have played T20 internationals. And it's also not been very great results across formats. The test match against England at home would have been one bright spark in there. Sri Lanka as well, but that was just a T20 international series over there. But other than that, even across formats,
last 8,
not been a great time for New Zealand.
Last 8, yeah.
Well, if you're a cricket playing nation and that to New Zealand, you know, one thing for sure, there's not too much of scrutiny around that. I think, you know, that's something which has stayed with New Zealand cricket, and maybe that has been something which has in a way stopped them from having that drive or going to that highest point in cricket. You know, because if you do well, there is not much of a praise. If you don't do well, there is not much of a criticism. You know, so that just kind of neutralizes the highs and lows. So, you know, so that added pressure at times helps you do better and better. Like if you have to compare it to Indian cricket, I think, you know, Indian cricket is something which is followed by everyone. You know, so it's the number one sport in our country, and if you lose one game, then you know, maybe they will spare you. But if you lose 2 in a row, there will be a whole lot of criticism, which in turn, you know, drives you to do better and better all the time. I think that is something which is missing from New Zealand cricket, and that they need to find a way of motivating themselves or setting those high standards. Brandon McCullum, I think, to a certain degree, was able to achieve that. You know, he instilled that positiveness in the group. He was going out there and trying to be aggressive, positive, and trying to win matches of cricket. And was guiding that group towards that in terms of achieving those great heights. But after that, again, you know, it's gone back to old ways of what we've been seeing with New Zealand cricket. I think Kane Williamson, if he's continuing that one thing, he has to take responsibility of instilling in that.
They'll probably be quizzing them more about the All Blacks not making the World Cup than this one.
But interesting point he makes about scrutiny, because I remember during that game walking around Lords and chatting with some New Zealand fans. And the first reaction there was, I said, I mean, you guys up for it? What a big moment this is going to be. And he said, well, it's not going to make much difference back home. It's going to make much more difference to the English than it is to the New Zealanders.
It is.
We win. If we don't win,
we remember that game so much because it's like if England loses, then there's lots of people around the world who look forward to it. For some reason, it's going to be like that with India very shortly, because the big bully is the one everyone wants to beat. But my feeling still is there'd be great as much sadness now at the All Blacks than at the Black Caps.
But is this picking up from what Zaheer Khan was saying about Brendan McCullum, the whole nice guy tag? I mean, is that something that's coming to bite them? Because Kane Williamson, nice guy, and we often talk about nice guys finishing last. Is it starting to be that they need to be a bit more or a bit less of the nice guy?
No, you can be nice guys and win games of cricket. You know, that is something which shouldn't stop you from winning matches. It's about setting that goal. I think, you know, it's just about your leader or your management setting those kind of goals. I think those kind of goals are not being set, and maybe when Brandon McCullum was captaining the side, you know, he had that drive. He had those kind of chats around in the group going in terms of winning games of cricket and backing those players, you know, who could achieve that for the team. You know, and that was the time when Saudi and Trent Bolt was playing together, and if you see Brandon McCullum's captaincy, he was always trying to be aggressive. You know, he would have those slips in place. Doesn't matter what what the situation of the game is, and that is something was sending a strong signal not only in the group but also to the opposition that okay, hang on, we can't relax against this opposition. Right now, every team knows that we can't relax against New Zealand, but they also know that they're not gonna really stay in the fight for a long time. They will give up sooner than later.